View from the Roof. Hello and welcome. I'm John McKay, and today I'm joined by comedian, radio show host and massive wrestling fan Billy Kirkwood. Quite a list there, Billy.
It is quite a list, John, but I can always add more. I like to keep busy.
Keeping busy, well, that's what you've been doing. This summer, Billy performed at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, but it was a gig in Glasgow that's led to him becoming the new MC for a wrestling company that's out to prove it's not just for kids. Let's take a look at ICW.
Insane Championship Wrestling, or ICW as it's better known, has rapidly become a popular event in Glasgow in the last few years. Starting off in Maryhill's Community Central Halls in 2006, its popularity led to a move to the city centre. Nowadays, ICW can be found in the Classic Grand or Apollo 23.
We were running a show with outgrown Maryhill at the time, and it just so happened that one of the managers in Walkabout had come along. He was up standing on his chair, going nuts with everybody else, and he came up at the end of the show, gave me his card, said we'd be interested in running something in Apollo 23.
It's not a traditional wrestling product. It caters for adult audiences instead of the families targeted by larger organisations such as WWE. And with the Apollo usually home to stand-up comedy, no one in ICW is taking themselves too seriously.
When it was in Maryhill, I went up and I kind of opened the show by doing a wee bit of chat and then doing a couple of songs. One of the songs I forgot all the words, so I think a few of the wrestlers backstage kind of filled in.
We were all singing it backstage.
I think everyone else knew the words apart from me, basically.
Neil Bratchpiece's appearances have gained the promotion some mainstream press, and with Billy Kirkwood arriving as a new master of ceremonies, ICW is building a unique market of its own.
We're also going to be doing something at the Fringe that's a sort of mix of wrestling and comedy. Myself and Neil, the wee man, are going to be doing a sort of comedy wrestling thing in Glasgow during the Magners Glasgow Comedy Festival.
The group have come a long way from its humble origins in Maryhill, but some of its stars have travelled even further, with former champion Drew Galloway now known to Americans as Drew McIntyre in WWE. Wrestling fans can find him in the latest video games or on store shelves as part of Mattel's action figure line.
The more people that go to the big time, the better, as far as I'm concerned, until ICW becomes big time, which will happen.
Back in Glasgow, however, one of ICW's biggest stars today is Chris Renfrew, who was all set to call it a day before he received the call from Mark Dallas.
So I came in and I actually said to him before the show in February 2010, this is it, this is my last show. And he's like, no, it's not. He's like, no, seriously, I'm done after this. I'm like, no, you're not. And right enough, he was right. We went out there and made yet again another one of those crazy six-man street fight things. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere, man. And consider myself one of the recognisable faces of the company. And other people do say Mr. ICW. They kind of look at me, Jester, and the Bucky Boys as, you know, the figureheads for the company. So this is my home.
And with the latest developments, including a television deal for 2012, ICW's success doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon.
Billy, you looked as if you got out of the ring pretty quickly there when the fighters get in.
Definitely. I mean, did you see the size of some of these guys? They really scare me half to death, but they are really nice guys and really intense.
So how did you get involved in ICW?
Well, in my stand-up that I do all around the country at regular clubs, I mean, no secret about being a stand-up fan. And I knew a couple of people that worked for the company, and the opportunity to come in and be a guest MC for a night came up, and as a wrestling fan, I had to do it. And the first night we had a lot of fun, bit of fun with the crowd and all that type of thing, and they very kindly asked me to come back as a regular, and I'm only too delighted to be involved.
And how have these shows been going so far?
They've been good. They've been good. I've had drinks thrown at me. I've had chants. I got hit with a cane in one show. Again, as a wrestling fan, it's all fantastic. But the fans have been really nice and really kind, and so have the wrestlers. So I'm having a great time.
I mean, we saw the VT there. The fans get really involved in it as well.
Oh, really? Yeah. There's a real great appreciation between the wrestlers and the fan. They're all putting together. It's kind of like stand-up in many respects. We're all putting the show together. As much as they give, the wrestlers give back. And it's a fantastic night out.
And you come from a comedic background. Does that tie in with the wrestling somewhere?
Yeah, well, thankfully, my main job is talking on the mic. And thankfully, from a stand-up point of view, you get used to talking in front of big crowds. Although I will say the ICW crowd are probably the most intense crowd you'll ever talk in front of. But I get to bring some of my sort of comedic talents to it. And trust me, the ICW crowds are just as funny as any comedian I've ever gigged with. So it's nice. I get to bring that in.
And tell us more about the new TV deal that was featured in the video there.
Well, it's all very exciting. ICW have signed a deal with Sky Television. It's going to go on my channel, which is 219, I think. It's unique in the respect that there are not many wrestling companies that have a TV deal in Europe. Certainly none in the UK. So it's again breaking boundaries here in Scotland, but it'll go out to a whole new audience, bringing a whole new generation of wrestling fans. It's adult orientated, so it's something really different.
Well, every success with it, Billy. Thanks for joining us on View.